last year.
Yeah, if he had made 22 lakhs in PKRs, just imagine how much the owners would have made.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That it is very, very successful business. So, and the earning is in dollars, So it is very, very successful.
I
But the thing is that
I wish it was in dollars. I mean, the owners are getting paid in dollars. You still get paid in PKRs, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, what do you think about the call center business? Do you think it's a successful business? Do you think we can make like career out of it? Like we could make money, we could be successful in the near future? What do you think about it?
that's what actually I'm seeing. It is coming. It is coming because
we can become millionaires soon, maybe like in a year or two.
Really soon, really soon in it. But you know what? The thing is that in a call center industry, because this is a very great industry, to be honest with you. So telemarketing, you don't have to go
Billions of dollars
anywhere.
are made out of this industry every single year. I mean, if you look into the countries who are involved in telemarketing, India, Pakistan,
Exactly.
Bangladesh, Philippines, and those Middle
I mean,
East
let's
countries,
talk about continents.
Spanish
Asia,
countries,
Africa,
exactly.
Europe. They all are doing, telemarketing.
They are somehow involved in telemarketing, right?
Yeah. So I was just I would tell you one thing. Like you told me that can we be successful in this call center, or can we make a career in it? Why not? Like you have to. But the only thing is that you don't need. I mean, it doesn't matter that you're only genius or you have skills. You gotta put some
efforts.
Efforts. I mean, this is the same thing. If you are genius and not putting efforts,
it needs a lot of dedication. It needs a lot of hard work, and you need to invest money in it as well. You know what? Let me just tell you something about it. Since I've been working in this industry for the past maybe like 5 to 6 or 7 years, right?
Yep.
So I've been into like different organizations, and I've been with different people who were so talented and who were millionaires, or let's say they were making million of dollars, right?
Exactly.
So but one thing that I have noted is that this industry needs a lot of consistency and dedication. If you're not consistent, if you're hesitant, if you cannot just take risk, cannot make money.
Yeah.
What happens is that a lot of most of the times I get DMs in my Instagram. People are coming from my YouTube channel asking me, hey, what if we invest 20 lakhs and then you just work with us on 50-50, so then do you think we're going to make money? I'm like, what do you know about telemarketing? They'd be like, oh well, we have no idea. We've just heard about telemarketing from one of our friends, and we just wanted to invest money in this business. I'm like, okay, so you have no idea how it works. They'd be like, no, we don't have any idea. I'm like, okay, so do you think it's something like easy, just invest money in something you have no idea about, and then expecting other people to make money for you, right?
Yeah.
Since I have been in this industry myself, so I know how hard it is to make money out of it. I mean, people look up to those people that how much they are making, but they don't know how
the
much
efforts
they are
behind
struggling.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are times when you have to pay it out of your own pocket for
months, for years. It could be years.
The one thing that I have noticed about this industry is the vibe and the data. This is crazy, man. You don't know until you make records.
Yep.
Then you will realize that how much this vibe costs, how much the data costs, and then the salaries, right? And there are other expenses as well. So I mean, it's great to be in telemarketing business, but obviously it needs a lot of dedication. And I would suggest everyone out there, if they want to start business in this telemarketing, right, in this insurance industry, I would suggest them first work for somebody else, so they know how the process works, right? If you just come into this industry as a businessman, you have no idea how this works. Obviously, you're going to just leave the industry with failures and with disappointments.
Yeah.
Last year, I was in my office, and one of the there were 2 gentlemen just came into the office out of nowhere and asking me to give them some advice. I was like, if I had great advice for you guys. Why would I be working as an employee for somebody else?
Uh-huh.
Right?
I have a complaint on
No,
that
no,
one.
listen, listen, just hold on. You're not just coming up to the point. Look, I am working for somebody so I could learn it, right?
Yeah.
If I know how things work, everything works, right? Why would I work for somebody else instead? I would just work. I mean, I've received a lot of offers from people offering me 50 lakhs, 40 lakhs to work for them or to work with them on 50-50. But the reason why I was not starting it because I had no idea how this business works.
Yeah.
Just because you work as a CSR, right? As an agent or as a verifier doesn't mean that you know everything about it. You have to know about the insides of the business, how the business development work, right?
Yeah.
How to handle buyers, clients, right? This is the main thing.
And another main thing is that how to manage your money.
Exactly. So
When you earn,
back
how
then,
to manage it.
I was obviously good at the telemarketing myself, training people, giving them product knowledge and pretty much all of these things. But
Yeah.
giving someone advice about business was not of my thing. I mean, I cannot just, to be honest, I cannot give any advice to somebody who wants to start this business. I mean, how do I tell them? I know I can tell them about the product. I can tell them about the different campaigns, right?
Yeah.
But how do I tell them about the buyers and the clients? Now, if somebody wants to ask for my advice, I can definitely tell them and give them my honest advice. That how the process works. Since it's been like almost 2 years since I've been working into this thing, right?
Exactly.
Very closely.
And it needs really great patience. I mean, you have to
does,
be patient for it.
You have to
be
you have
patient.
to invest money for like months.
Yeah.
And you would not be able to even meet your own expenses. But you have to be patient, right? Then there time comes when you make money. Even in 1 month, you make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's why I was not here. I was at my in hometown, and a friend of mine who was working with me as a closer. So he just called me, right? Oh, hey, how you doing? Great, thanks. Yeah, I said, yeah, what's up, man? And he said, let's just come up. We have started our own call center, and this and that and that, but I knew that they don't have any patience about anything. So I asked them, yeah, I'll just think about it. I'll think about it.
So you're talking about the boys who used to work with us back then in 2022, I believe so.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just not.
Yeah, they were not.
Names, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought let's just work with them, but then I think that we both have the same mentality, the same thing. So like I cannot work with such kind of. I would wanna work with somebody who is above me.
Exactly.
Above mentality. I'm talking about the patient, as I am impatient. So they are as impatient as I am, and it doesn't work this way. You have to be patient. You have to be consistent.
You're talking about
you have to be responsible for different things.
Yeah.
Like you have to be an office boy, even though you are the owner.
Exactly.
You have
From the
to
start. You
have to
doing
be an
everything.
agent. You have to be a verifier.
Because that's how you can handle then the team.
Exactly.
You
gotta be friend to everybody because you just have started.
But one thing about this industry that I see usually is that people are very mean. I mean, especially the owners and the top higher management, right? They are very mean to people. It doesn't like it's not necessary that you should be mean, right?
It's arrogant. I wouldn't say mean.
You can be like really sort of down to earth and still be the manager or be the director and be somebody who could control the team, right? I have I think in our office more I would say about 50 individuals are working under my managership, right? And I know how to handle all those people. There are times when people just get very aggressive with you, right?
Yeah.
But you do not have to take it personal. I mean, just put yourself in their shoes. Obviously, they work 10 hours a day, all the time, dialing, handling those numbers, right, and handling rejections and pretty much, so then you get frustrated, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is frustrated, you gotta just take them to your office and have some word with them. Maybe there is something going on in their home or maybe in their lab, which is obviously bugging them.
You,
and they
you
have
just
to
remind me
work,
one
come
thing,
to the
man.
office at the same time. Yes,
Exactly, like there is something going on in their personal life, you know.
exactly.
And some of them would tell you that, you know, when you come to the office, you gotta leave everything behind. How
do
can
you
you
leave
do
it?
that,
You
man?
cannot do that, right?
How can you do that? Well, the one thing
You're
I was,
struggling with financial difficulties at home,
yeah.
right? You gotta pay your fees. You gotta support your family, and then you cannot forget about those things. So it's better
Yeah.
to take your employees to your office, talk to them, ask them what's going on in their life. It's not always about the
When
sales,
was
man.
working together again when you were the coach and I was a verifier?
It was the end of 2022. Yeah, when I
It was the end of 2022. So I still remember that motherfucker. You know, he was not the manager. He was just a floor manager or operation manager whatsoever. So you know what?
The
I
bad
was
guy.
just the stupid guy, man. He was not a bad guy. I mean, I wouldn't say he was a bad
Yeah.
guy because a
Do you
bad
remember,
guy.
do you remember when you were when we were all asked, we were called to be working on Saturday, and he got very furious with the people, and he started.
And do you remember me? I just when I was on the call and when he started shouting, you know, I had to go under the table to take my calls. Instead, I couldn't handle my.
There were female agents working on the backside of the
Yeah,
station.
I
They
was so
were
disappointed at
scared.
the time.
They were asking me, sir, what's
Everybody
going on?
was shivering.
Exactly. When I look, boys are good, man. When I looked at those female agents, they were so scared. Literally, they couldn't talk. And I was like, it's all right. I'll just take care of this man.
Yeah.
And then I just went to him and said, well, what's going on? Come on, dude. Because he was not he wouldn't get aggressive with me. I just asked, hey, what's going on? Let me take you outside. I just took him outside because I went to one of his friends who was with him for like a long time, and I asked him, hey, what's going on when he gets like this, right? He gets very aggressive. So how do you guys handle him? He said, well, I have no idea how to handle him, but you could just ask him for a cigarette. If he smokes a cigarette, he would be fine. And I was like, okay, got it. So I just took him outside of the office and told him, hey, well, I'll take care of the entire floor. Don't worry, I'll take care of everything. You just go downstairs, smoke a cigarette, and then once you are good, then you may come upstairs and take control of your floor, right? And he did what I asked him, and then after a few minutes, he had completely forgotten everything, as if nothing had happened, man.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
and it doesn't work this way. It doesn't work. And he was just after
Everybody
that
needs
he
to
was
be given respect.
and after that he was just sorry, fuck your sorry, man. It doesn't work that way. What
first-
would I do? I mean, the glass is already broken.
Exactly.
Now it's not gonna make it.
You cannot fix
So
it.
I was talking about that. So I mean, and you know what was happening that back then with me. You know about that. So you just asked me. I was not performing, but you can't do that to someone who is not performing. Like you cannot do that. So
You gotta first take
he
sessions
just
with
called
them,
me
see
to
what's
come
going on.
here and said, how are you doing? I said, I'm good. And he was like, I mean, I didn't like that. So he said like, I know what's going on in your personal life. So I said, okay. But I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So I was like, did I say anything to you? Like, do you have to care about my personal life? No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But why would you mention it? So I don't care about that. When you come you come in from that door, you have to leave everything behind. And at the same time, he couldn't leave his own personal crisis.
Exactly, yeah.
So
He
I
was
was
going through
like, what
something
the
as
hell
well,
was
yeah.
going on? And I was so happy when he asked me that, I know what something is going in your personal life. And I said, okay, that's great. I mean, sometimes I was weak back then. I was really weak. I would just say
You
that.
couldn't stand up for yourself, for your right. I mean,
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean,
observed
emotionally, I was really weak.
no, you were emotionally weak at the same time. You couldn't stand up for your rights. I had observed you a lot of times.
And you remember that
Yeah,
one day I
you-
was standing outside of the office and I said, I'm gonna fuck this guy today.
So,
I'm not going. And you just dragged me.
Look, fire is not the solution.
I mean, he was crossing his
No.
limits every day, man.
Look, you gotta look. If you get in a fight with somebody in the office, right? Even if that guy is actually the bad guy, who is the guy who creates the troubles, right? But if you get in fight with him, the office is gonna fire both of you, or most probably you will get fired because he's the manager. So obviously, Who is
No,
gonna take
I knew
this,
that once I get in the fight, we both are going. I was not going alone because his reputation was not good.
You don't understand, man. When there is a manager in the company already knows about it. If they are keeping that manager in the company, so that means he is benefiting the company somehow. He is doing it right.
Let's just
The
admit it, he
company
was
that
a pervert as well.
And the company that we were working at, that company did not have any sort of reputation either, right? Everybody was running from the management. Everybody was running from the verification department
Yeah.
because their higher authorities, the main management was actually a toxic, right? They had
Their
no respect
CEO
for
was not
nobody,
good,
right?
actually. I would
There
just
were a
say.
couple of CEOs, so obviously it was the big issue.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the end, let's just wrap up everything. I think for those who want to start the business, I would definitely give them this advice to first work for somebody else,
Yeah, and one
At least
thing I
for
would
a
like
year.
to add here.
at least for a year, and then they can start their own business.
And one thing I would like to add here, if you are hardworking, you're thinking that I can make it. If you're a genius, no, it's not work that way. Look, I would just give you an example that everybody can understand, you know. If you are a hard work genius, you can make everything. That's let's just put it, it's a male, I mean, and like this is a boy, but he is not married yet, so he cannot have kids, right?
Exactly.
So when you have a lot of money, not less than 5 million in PKR,
Yeah.
that's what I would say, not less than 5 million. Yeah, okay. So then if you have money, hardworking and patient, then all of these three things are married. They can have kids, which would be in dollars.
We will be seeing each other in the next episode.
Yeah, that was all for today.
Yeah, that's for all for today. Everybody have a good one. See
And
you in
if
the
you
next
have any
episode.
questions, we are here.